Okay. Mar 31, April 5, and a review. Yeah, so Honkai is generous enough to give premium currency. You get 200 crystals in Honkai for doing the survey. Whereas Genshin just gives you like 30 grand Mora, which is basically nothing. I do try to leave meaningful feedback that we can copy pasta, but you know, it's also free content. Okay, banner review. Palatinus Equinox, a year-old battlesuit at this point. Probably only worth it if you're whaling, right? Because the prerequisites is that you need to have HOS, you need to have a fully geared Griseo, and hopefully you're a player who has those fist weapons from the recent story chapters that were given for free. So assuming all those conditions are met, only then would I really recommend this battlesuit. The exception is if you're just a doo-doo stan and you just really want to collect a Durandal battlesuit. Maybe you're a high dolphin, low whale, and you just want to go for rank ups. And you were going to top up anyways. Those would be the conditions that I can say are that need to be met if you're planning on rolling, right? Usually, if you're planning on rolling, you've planned ahead of time. You were going to rank her up anyways, type of thing. If you're a new player, you're not sure what to roll on, don't roll on this banner. Just skip. Save for next patch. Save for the patch after. We just got news about 6.6. You know, 6.5 is next week. Plenty of opportunities to get meaningful gear for your account that can help your account progress in the long term. As fun as Palatinus Equinox was for the last year or so, the requirements to play the team, I don't feel like are that accessible in the current state of the game for new players. Or players that are maybe even a year in. Like, if you're playing a year in and you still don't have HOS, it's still very hard to justify pulling for her at the current state of the game. Cupcake, I don't know about that. I remember filling out surveys in 1.0, and there were never primos in 1.0. It was always Mora. We had a lot of primos in the early days from, like, all sorts of other sources, but I don't remember, even in 1.0, ever getting primos for surveys. Because I remember even in 1.0, Genshin asking for, gear loadouts. Alright, Focus A, that's kind of a skip, right? If you're whaling and you want, and, you know, all the conditions have been met that I laid out in the expansion banner, you can kind of say, like, okay, well, you have HOS and Griseo, and you're gonna go for rank ups or whatever, and you want to fully gear Equinox, that's fine. I think if you're low budget, free to play, it's the end of a patch. Focus A and Focus B should be easy skips at this point. But let's take a look at the off rates anyway. So up rate, obviously quite good, useful on a lot of characters actually, useful on Asuka. We've used the TP standalone in quite a few situations on Twilight Paladin. So it looks like Focus A has some of the better off rates. Key of Radiance, kind of a filler weapon nowadays. Still good if you have Flame Scion. Nue of Shadow is filler, right? This one goes in the vault or you convert it. Still nice as a collectible. Falcon Flare, situational. Like, if you have Silverwing and you're missing the weapon, yeah, that's great. If you have Haxor Bunny, I don't know that you would necessarily max out a Falcon Flare at this point. Keys of Oblivion, it's a little bit late in the life cycle of HOS for Keys of Oblivion nowadays. It's still a moderately good weapon, I'd say, maxed out. But, you know, at this state of the game, maxing it out might not be the most, how do I put it? Might not be the most efficient use of resources. Same thing, Iris was great for Fallen Rosemary, but we are getting new Quantum Solution. Probably for a lot of like beginner players and mid-range players. Well, beginner players, you get Iris anyways. But maybe if you're a mid-range player that you missed out on Iris, can still be situationally useful. Definitely pri-arming Iris makes a big deal. And, you know, like, if you don't have the pieces needed for a physical Susanna team, maybe you're still relying on Fallen Rosemary for Quantum bosses. So, in that very edge case, yeah, maybe. But I feel like Iris of the Dreams has been given out and made available in so many previous banners that a lot of the people that probably need to use it already have it. And a lot of the players that maybe are like new players or lower experience, lower login days, mid-range players, you probably already have it from starter event. Midnight Eclipse is the uprate, and then Obscuring Wing, great for Raven, but you know, if you're not building Raven, it doesn't really do too much. Ozlog is still nice if you get it from off rates, but I probably wouldn't roll on this banner. Turgenev and Paganini are quite good. And then Linnaeus is kind of filler. It's for Mobius. You can use it as a placeholder. So the Stigmata off rates are actually kind of good here, but again, I wouldn't roll here just for the off rates. It's kind of a D- banner from me. Focus B, and as usual, Focus B gets different off rates on global compared to CN. In CN banners, Focus A and B share the same off rates. On global, they do not. And so you have a lot of older meta stuff here, which is like, it's fine if you're collecting old meta stuff for just collectibles. You know, Tranquil Areas, Key of Reason, Surtur, 11th, Nebulous Duality. A lot of this is already in Exchange Shop. So if you're a collector, maybe it's better you just roll for new stuff, and if you get weapon dupes, you convert the weapon dupes into resonators and just buy it outright from the other shop rather than spending your hard-earned crystals. Alera's Serenity is a garbage weapon. They released a Priarm at the same time as Abyss Flower, just as a consolation prize, and it's just a waste of Taurus. I don't know what they were thinking at the time. Ozlog, great if you're looking for it. I probably at this point for Raven, I would not be trying to get her gear. If you're playing Raven and you want to build her free to play, I would probably say use some combination of other available gear, whether through Foundry or whatnot. I'd say like a budget player, you could probably use Irene Adler, or you actually just use Raven as DPS and use Ichan as your support. So if you're doing DPS, you know, Thales TM is a great G2 solution for DPS Raven. Although in that case, you still want her bow. Hersher of Ice set on Ashariak is a farmable G4. At this point, oh, G3, pardon me, is the first G3 actually. At this point, a lot of players will have already farmed the G4 and upgraded their Anas, but if you off-rate this, again, you never roll on banners just for the off-rates. It can speed up your farming time. Very situational. I don't recommend that you do it in this case. Ragna's nice. Ragna for Spina, if you have Spina, or if you maybe need placeholder equipment for fire. And hey, Irene Adler. Well, Irene Adler's farmable. Ragna's kind of like a 3.5-ish equivalent. And then Kafka, farmable. So 3 out of the 4 sets here are farmable. And then Leeuwenhoek's TB set is like close equivalent to Ragna. So everything here is obtainable from other means without spending crystals if you're patient enough. If you're looking for collection, right? If you're playing this game for collecting stuff just to have a cool looking inventory or basically building your Honkai 3rd museum, it's better to do so without having to spend crystals for it. This is a F tier banner. You know, below D-, this is the easiest skip banner out there. 50 primos for the survey in early December 2021. But that wasn't a regular end of patch survey, was it? That was like a special event survey. I feel like that was like the only survey that gave primos. December 2021. 2021. The game came out in 2020. For Genshin. That's definitely not early. That's already in Azuma. I think I remember that survey because that was like the only survey that they ever gave primos for. Anyways, that concludes the supply review for the end of patch banner. These are all filler banners, easy skips, just don't pull. Come back next week. We'll do the 6.5 banner review. I think next week's banners will be much more exciting. Good luck, captains. Keep on saving.